Hello and welcome once again to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. In this video we are taking a look at the Diamond Select Titanium Man by Diamond Select Toys. Thank you very much to Diamond Select Toys for sending this guy over for me to have a look at. I'm very excited to open this one up, so let's jump in a second. I just wanted to give you a quick look at him in the packet because the Marvel Select figures in the packet really are quite special to look at. So here's a little look at the front, just shows you his title, and you can see the whole of the figure as well as some comic book artwork as well. And if I flip it around and show you the back, you get a little bit of a synopsis of who Titanium Man is and a picture of him with his helmet on. Now, Titanium Man has a date on the box of 2021. I believe you can still get hold of him. I've seen him on some of the retailer websites, and do check out Diamond Select's website as well. Now, who is Titanium Man? Well, Titanium Man's actually been around Marvel Comics since the mid-60s, and he essentially was a version of Iron Man that was created by the USSR to kind of combat Iron Man and kind of show their superiority. He's featured in a handful of Marvel comics since. He's gone up against Iron Man, and as you can imagine, Titanium Man, Iron Man, Captain America, they all kind of kick around and fight each other. But there's some cool comics out there and some cool storylines, and he's definitely worth having a look at. Now, this is not a character that I've seen in action figure form before, so I was really pleased to get hold of him, and it is huge. He is a real tank. Now, as you can see, he comes with an unmasked head and also two open palm hands as well. Now, the articulation on him isn't great. I'm not going to lie, there's not as much articulation in him as I'd hope, and he's also got this kind of skirt part of his costume which does limit the articulation in his leg as well. But where it lacks articulation, they have made up in detail and finish. He's got this really nice metallic-y green finish. Even the soles of his shoes have got the kind of the studs on it. It's got grip on the bottom of his feet. And although I'm not a huge fan of the unmasked head, it is nice to have an unmasked head as well. I think the only thing that would have made this better is if maybe he came with an unmasked head and then the actual helmet fit over his head, just to make it that little bit bigger. But I've got zero complaints in the way that they've done it. It works. It does work. As far as accurateness, from what I remember of the comics, he's quite accurate to the look. I just remember him being a big kind of green version of Iron Man. So yeah, I mean, it looks quite accurate, and I had a little Google to see some of the images from the comic books to remind myself, and he does look very much like he did in the comic books. If you're a collector of Iron Man, then he is definitely worth picking up, because this is an Iron Man, one of Iron Man's enemies at the end of the day, someone from his Rogues Gallery. So he is definitely worth adding into the collection. As far as the articulation is concerned, you have got a point of articulation in the knee, a single joint. You've also got a point of articulation in the elbow as well, a single joint, and you do have articulation in the hips and the shoulders, as well as the ankles, the wrists and the neck. So, and there's a little bit there in the chest as well, but not a huge amount. You can kind of move him a little bit forward and side to side. Next to Iron Man, this is the Silver Centurion Iron Man from Diamond Select Toys, so you can see that he sizes up quite well, and he is the modular Iron Man from Marvel Legends, so you can really get an idea of how big this guy is. So if the Marvel Legends Iron Man is a 6-inch figure, the Silver Centurion is clearly about 7 inches, so that means that Titanium Man stands at least 8, maybe 8.5 inches tall, which is huge compared to Marvel Legends figure, and even huge compared to the other Diamond Select Iron Man figures on offer, which is great because he was a kind of a hulking character anyway, so to have a big character to go up against Iron Man is great. So now, regardless of what line you collect, this Titanium Man would fit in with that collection quite nicely. I'm a little bit disappointed there's not a little bit more articulation, or the articulation is limited, because I think that I could have some real fun with action figure photography with this guy, and I just kind of have to rethink some of the ideas that I had in mind, because he's not got as much articulation as I thought he might have. But it's not the end of the world at the end of the day. It's a great opportunity to have Titanium Man in your collection, and as I said earlier, this is not one that we've seen an action figure of before. I suppose because he is quite niche, not a huge amount of people have heard of him. He's never been featured in any of the films or even the cartoons from what I remember. If he was featured in the cartoon, then please do let me know in the comments, because I haven't seen it, so that'd be cool. But I think that one of the parts of this figure that really stand out to me is the detail even in the sole of his boot. To have that grip on the sole of his boot is a really nice touch. But yeah, I mean his ankle's a little bit wobbly, but I've not had any problems with him standing up. I've had him out on my shelf and he's not fallen over, so he's well balanced, and he's just I like a big figure. I like it when they do figures that are kind of large and oversized, and he definitely falls into that camp. So, but I'm a fan. I think he's really cool, and I think he's definitely worth picking up if you're a collector of Iron Man or Captain America or the more classic kind of characters from comics. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things, and I'll see you soon.